Hey guys, Greg here, and I wanted to talk to you for a few minutes today about developing your story and what your story is and how you're going to build upon the story and let other people tell the story for you as you develop your brand. So, the first step I think in developing your story is defining who you are as a person, who you are as a brand. If you're a company, who are you? What is your essence? And this who are you is the story of your introduction. So, when you go out to dinner with your friends and you meet a new group of friends and your friends introduce you and they're like, hey, this is Jim, he's a PE teacher, or he's a singer in a band, or whatever the case is, that's who you are to that person because that's their perception of you based on what they know about you. So defining who you are is really that introduction. So who are you? What have you put out there to really define your story? And so the next step, after you go down and you define who you are, I want you to think about who you want to be. Who do you want to be when your career takes off? Who do you want to be when things, the dominoes start falling in the right direction? Because knowing who you want to be helps you find steps and find a plan and find that utopia of going from who you are to who you want to be. So the question that follows who do you want to be is how do you want people to introduce you? So right now they might be saying, hey, this is Greg, he's a social media guy, or he's a music marketer, or whatever the case is. That's how they introduce me now. But how do I want them to introduce me? Greg's a successful entrepreneur. Greg's launched a bunch of really cool companies. He does a lot of nonprofit work. It's really outstanding. You should, definitely check him out. And once you develop that story of who you want to be and how you want people to introduce you, well, now that story can start spreading. It can start, virally going from people to people. Like, hey, you need to meet this guy, Jim. He's, one of the best musicians I've ever seen. Or he started some really cool companies, whatever the case is. So once you know those three pieces of the puzzle, who you are, who you want to be, and how do you want people to introduce you, you can now make a plan to get there. So if you want to become that successful entrepreneur and you want to start this company, who are other people that have started similar companies or companies like the one you want to build, the culture, the style? And now you can start formulating a plan to getting there. Because if you don't know who you are and you don't know who you want to be, you can't develop that storyline. It's really tough to do that. So over the course of the years for myself, I started out as a musician. That is who I was. I was Greg. I was in a band. I was a rapper, engineer, producer, a DJ, and that's who I was. And as my story developed, I started doing internet marketing and social media marketing for my own band. And when the band disbanded, I started doing marketing for companies and started a 9 to 5 job doing internet marketing. And as that grew, it's led to consulting gigs for Fortune 500 companies and young entrepreneurs, Gen Y is looking to start their career and get passionate about things. And that's the story that I've created based on who I am and who I want to be. I want to become that successful entrepreneur who gives back and does philanthropic things and, is just an all-around, good guy who does great things and impacts other people. And that's who I want to be. So knowing that and knowing that I want people to introduce me that way, it's been able to allow me to build a plan. I need to launch a product. We just did the Under 30 Rockstar Business Series for young entrepreneurs. We did Label 2.0. You can see the logo in the background. Our music marketing membership site where we're teaching musicians how to use online tools to connect with fans in this personal level. And we've been able to develop these products and, do these things. The Rock for Hunger stuff that I'm doing is the nonprofit that I'm putting a lot of the profits back into to do the philanthropic things. So by developing that story, it's been able to have people talk about me and grow that story. So for you guys need to do the exact same thing. You need to define who you are. And I know some of you that are getting out of college or just starting in your music career or just starting your business, it's really hard to define who you are. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know the job you want to get. You don't really know your direction. But sit down, take a couple minutes of your time, and really think about who you are. After you have that down, think about who you want to be. So today you might, I just graduated college. I want to be, a lawyer. I want to get a job at a practice. But who I want to be, I want to run my own practice. I want to have 20 lawyers working for me, and we're working on some of the biggest cases, in my local area. That's who I want to be. Well, now how do you want people to introduce you? You want people to say, hey, this is Jim. He's just getting started in law school, but he's got that sense about him that he's going to run one of the biggest practices this area has ever seen. He's going to be on these cases and, make some earth-shattering, revelations about law, So now you can work towards that. You can start setting apart that plan. You can start, jumping in on smaller cases. You can start doing research. You can throw up blogs and, networking with other people and take entrepreneurship classes and learn how to open your own practice. And by knowing that, the 2 steps, who you are, who you want to be, you can start implementing that plan. So hope this video didn't ramble along a little too long. I think it's something that's really important for you guys to check out. And thanks. I'd love to hear your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video, and let me know who you are and who you want to be, and how do you want people to introduce you. So if you guys could leave that in the comments, that'd be fantastic. So thanks for checking out the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.